Oh, yeah. I don't wanna be a safe bet, don't wanna be a plan B. Wanna be a top choice, not your top three. I'm so done, I'm so done.
I'm Andrea Askowitz.
I'm Allison Langer, and this is Writing Class Radio. You'll hear true personal stories and learn how to write your own stories. Together, we produce this podcast, which is equal parts heart and art. By heart, we mean the truth in a story, and by art, we mean the craft of writing. No matter what's going on in our lives, Writing Class is where we tell the truth. It's where we work out our shit. There's no place in the world like Writing Class, and we want to bring you in. All right, guys, so today on our show, we are bringing you a story read, performed, and very original by our own Andrea Askowitz.
But not read and not performed.
What is it then?
Told. That's the whole point.
All right, so back up.
It's the May 2024 Moth, and I see that the theme is snooping. I actually did go for a bike ride and think about what I would tell, but that was it. Like, I was just like, I did snoop on my daughter, so maybe I'll tell that story. Usually I go to the Moth alone because I just it's work for me, really. I've been going for 9 years. I've lost 14 times. This time I was I called up a friend. Really cool that it was sweet that she came with me.
Did you say, hey, do you want to come watch me lose again?
Yeah. I'm like, hey, I'm going to the Moth. I mean, she already knows. This is Marjorie Berger, who's been on the podcast. She already knows that
You've
kind
broken
of
an umbrella.
She knows that I've had a temper tantrum after losing at the Moth before. She knows my whole issue, my situation. I'm leaving the house. Vicky, my wife, she's like, hey, cool. You're going to the Moth. Okay. Just think of it as working out material, which was actually a really nice thing to say. It's just practice. And it is. It's great. You have a 200 people audience. You get to practice a story, whatever. I get there. I'm, drinking my electrolytes like usual. So what I know about the Moth, if you're pregnant, you win. I also know that if you're a man and you cry, you win. And you only win in those situations if you're one of the last to go. Because there's 10 people, but there's a momentum that builds. So if you tell a story in the first half, even if you're great, you'll never win. It's just not. And I've often thought the Moth is so rigged, but it's not. What I've learned is that what they want, what they're looking for, the only thing they care about is connection, is the real true connection that person on stage has with the audience. So I'm sitting in the audience and I'm like, oh my God, I'm never going to get called. This always happens. And
because your name is in a hat, you put it's random, right?
Yeah, it's random. Your name is in a bag. Yeah. And there were 2 names left. And I was like, at this moment, I was so scared that I was going to be last. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be last. It's lining up. And I was putting all this pressure on myself. And then I was picked second to last. So I stand up, I go to the stage. In my mind, I'm like, oh, damn it. Well, now I'm not going to win. Oh, well. And I was a little bit more relaxed. Because I knew I was just, okay, I'm just here practicing material because last person's going to win. And I told my story. The audience they were so great. They thought it was funny. And then here's my story.
So wait, before you continue, I want, we can talk more about this at the end, but I want everyone to hear your story. And unfortunately, there's no recording of Andrea's story. Well, there probably is that you can pay for, but we're cheap. And so, we're going to just have Andrea do it for you guys right now. Just off the cuff. And here goes.
Which is harder than telling it at the Moth right now. This is going to be harder.
Wait, but we're going to get back to you after the break. So stick around to hear Andrea's story that she told at the Moth. We're back. This is Allison Langer, and this is Writing Class Radio. Up next is Andrea Askowitz telling the story she told at the May 24 Moth.
It was 2.5 years ago when my daughter turned 18. She blocked me from Instagram. Okay, so she's 18. Oh, thank you for smiling. This is not going to be so bad.
No, because I already know why she would do that. You're fucking crazy. Okay,
I might be crazy.
Okay.
I might be. That is so interesting that you said that. You can heckle. It makes it easier, actually. Okay, so now my daughter's 18. So I'm in a bind because legally I have no recourse. But I really want to be able to monitor her social media activity. And you'll hear why, and you know why, Allison. So
She's laughing because I just made the
pasties.
yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. You know what's coming. Okay. So I enlisted 2 friends to follow Tashi, my daughter Tashi, and snoop on her and send me anything that might be, I don't know, you'll hear. Okay. And this is the part where it's like, if you don't want to know what your daughter's doing on Instagram, don't sneak around. But I did. I enlisted 2 spies. So then about 6 months later, I got a screenshot of my daughter like kneeling on her bed, like in our house. She was in this like super sexual position and she was wearing a full-on bunny suit, like Playboy bunny. It was so sexual. I saw the picture, the screenshot. I ran in there. I was like, take this down. She's like, you are a conservative, prude, old hag. and I'm like, no, I'm not conservative. I'm not prude. In fact, I've spent most of my life before marriage a total whore, but I am old, which is how I know we have been here before. And then I'm like, do you even know who Gloria Steinem is? And she actually did know who Gloria Steinem is, but still I was just like, I'm going to tell you about the most iconic feminist of our time. And even before I was born, this is like my lecture. I'm like lecturing her. Even before I was born, Gloria Steinem got a job undercover at the Playboy mansion or wherever. She put on a bunny suit and she did that to tell the world that like prancing around in a bunny suit is objectifying, degrading, not good for women. We already know this. And Tashi's all, my body, my choice, which is actually like true. You know, I'm like, okay, I fully agree with that. Like, yeah, your body, your choice. Like, I love that idea for most things. But why are you choosing to put yourself out there like a floozy bunny? Why aren't you choosing to talk about like, post about like how you got into every college you applied to? Or like even your struggles. Like, why don't you post about overcoming or dealing with depression? Because, you know, Tashi's dealt with a ton of depression and she's wise about that. Or like, why don't you post things that show like what a kind, beautiful heart you have? I can't even remember if she took it down, but I think she did. I think then she put it back up. But okay. But I didn't know because I wasn't monitoring her social media. Then it was last year. So she was already in college. I got another screenshot. This time, Tashi is walking down campus. Like you could see the library behind her. It was like college green or something. She was alone in the shot and she's wearing socks like above her knees, tiny boy shorts and pasties. That was it. And it looked like she was just like, woo. She was like in mid flounce, like she's like skipping through campus. I called her. I was like, what the fuck? And she goes, I'm in a slut walk. So I'm like, what the fuck is that? She tells me that a slut walk is this international movement. And the idea is I can wear nothing, I can wear anything, and no one is entitled to touch me or harass me. And I'm like, fuck, that's cool. Like, I could totally get behind that. I want to do a slut walk. Like, I get it. That's awesome. But why are you the only slut walking? And she's like, Mom, every day is a slut walk for me, which actually kind of broke my heart. And also, I was like, okay, I get that too. But I said, you know, it's dangerous for you to put yourself out there like that. Like there are creepy ass people out there. And she said, you are looking at me through the male gaze. And which was a yucky accusation, but it was exactly my point. And I was like, baby, what other gaze is there? And I was like, I want you and all of your 20-something friends, like every woman out there who posts all these sexual posts, and they do constantly. It's not just my daughter. I mean, it seems like every woman her age posts like this. I want you to post other things so that the gaze changes, so that men and women, we all see something different and not just hot bodies. Like, I want you to value yourself for more than just that. About 2 weeks ago, I was scrolling through Instagram, just regular. I saw one of her posts. So like, I was like, wait a second, I'm not blocked anymore. Like, what's happening here? Yeah. And I started like looking at all of her stuff. So there's one where this is so crazy that this happened, but there's one post where she's like wearing a tiny mini skirt and like very sexual. I think she's twerking. And the caption underneath, like where you write, she writes, "Mom, if you're reading this, I want you to know that I know that I am worth more. Like, I know my value is worth more than just my body." And then she wrote something else like, "It's taken me a long time to feel comfortable and to love my body, and I'm just having fun here," which was something I hadn't considered, which I think is also something to her point. Like, I get that. But the part that really made me like, I felt like, oh, there's progress. Like, she knows that her value is more than just her body. And she wanted me to know that, you know, like, I'm like, maybe I don't need to spy on her anymore. Like, maybe we're getting somewhere. Thank you.
Very nice. I didn't gong you because you went over 5 minutes. Like at the Moth,
Really?
you have to stay within your 5 minutes.
You get 6 in the end. How many did I
6?
do?
You did.
Well, at 5, you're like, break it, you know, come to a close, and then 6,
You
you're
did
done.
about 9.
What?
It's not.
Oh, that's because you were heckling me.
Oh.
Maybe. Or maybe because I just relaxed now and I told it slower.
Yeah. All right. So this is the first time I've heard the story. I mean, we talked prior to the show and we were trying to figure out like, you know, what is the story about? Like, what are you trying to get to, just so that you can hit the beginning, the middle, the end? Like, we can make sure you have all your points, and you pretty much had it down.
And thank you for not falling asleep right now on me or rolling your eyes. You were a great audience, better than I expected.
Oh God, Jesus. All right. No comment. So anyway, I loved it. I thought it was great. And it was short enough for me. You spoke at a fast enough clip to keep me interested. And I was wondering, like, where is this going? Like, what's the story? How does a mom, like handle her daughter going out in the world with this type of attitude? And the kids, they pretty much, you can't control them. They do what they're going to do. And we just try to mop up the mess or protect them as best as possible.
We also have such a different perspective.
Well, yeah.
I mean, so
you and
so
Tashi
different.
or older people and younger people?
Both.
Yeah. Well, it's because we've been there, done that. And maybe we've escaped some of the things that could have happened to us. I remember my mom always being like, "You don't even know that this could happen." And I'm like, it's not going to happen to me. Like, I never thought anything bad was going to happen to me. You know, for the most part, I nothing did. Whatever. I guess I'm just lucky. Very, very lucky.
I was lucky too.
Yeah. But anyway, back to the story. What I love so much is that it was very simple. Like, we know what the story is. The mom snoops on her child. The child cuts her off. She hires people, friends, to snoop on her daughter just to make sure she's okay. And then last episode, this narrator was ragging on me because she said I had control issues. Hello, control issues. But this is the
I don't know why I didn't admit that I also have control issues. Of course I do. I wanted to say we all do, but I didn't want to step on you.
Are you allowed to be speaking?
I'm sorry. I don't know.
No. So I love that part. And then we get to the moment where the daughter is doing the slut walk and she's like, "Where are the other sluts?" There's a moment I didn't understand that the narrator said she got. The narrator's daughter does this slut walk every day. And I was like, does that mean she's lonesome? Feels alone? Like, I didn't understand that 100%, but the narrator did, about her own daughter. So that was a moment I was like, I didn't really get it, but I didn't care because I knew that the narrator and her daughter had a connection, and that was okay with me. You know, they have something they understand about each other. Okay, great. So then onward. And then the point at the end is that she's back allowed to snoop on her daughter. Like, the daughter is sort of getting why the mom is so worried about her, and she's okay with it. I just thought that was a beautiful, beautiful ending. Can we say that the narrator won? She fucking won the Moth.
Okay. Yeah.
You never said it. Yes. So I don't know what person came after, but obviously it wasn't a guy who cried. It wasn't somebody pregnant.
Yeah. The last person was a very good storyteller, but he was not on theme at all. And there were no stakes in his story. And while he was speaking, I was sweating freaking bullets because I knew there's a score. I knew I was in the lead. It's so bad.
Do you think there's also a portion of this that you have to ingratiate yourself with or to the judges? Because if they don't like you, even if your story's good, you may not win.
Well, that's what I learned over 25 years and 9 years of losing and performing at the Moth, that the most important thing about storytelling, it's not that having them like you, but it's having the audience connect to you. And we've talked about that a million times, being a reliable narrator. You have to be vulnerable. You have to be true. But also, you cannot, when you're telling a story out loud, you can't memorize because that ruins your authenticity. Like, I don't know how I sounded right now when I just told this story. I don't know because I haven't listened to it back. So did I sound authentic? Did I sound like I was really telling you?
Yeah, you didn't sound memorized to me.
Because there were a few lines that I actually am a bit married to, and I nailed them. Like, why were you the only slut walking?
Yeah.
And I'm not an actor. And I know at the Moth, at the actual event at the Moth, I said that line wrong. I wanted to say that because it was so stunning to me that my daughter was like alone, it seemed, in a parade. Like, being in a parade, that's one thing. That makes sense. You're protected because you're around all these people. But it looked like she was not she was alone. When I said it at the Moth, I said, why were you the only one walking? And people like laughed hard. But because I had this like storyteller ego, I said the line again. Why were you the only slut walking? And I had recorded the whole thing on my phone just because I do that for practice, and I listened to it later. And when I listened to the second time I said slut walking, why were you the only slut walking? It sounded so weird, so rehearsed, so inauthentic that I was like, good God, how did I get away with that? Like, maybe they didn't hear it the second time, hopefully. You know, it just proved to me again, which is something that I've learned. It only takes me 25 years to learn something. But what I learned is that you really, really, really do have to be authentic. No, you can't fake it.
Okay, so what's your advice to all the Moth people out there, the Moth storyteller dying to win people?
But my advice to any storyteller, even a writer on the page or any storyteller who's reading a story or anything about storytelling, the most important thing is the truth. And we say that here, like equal parts heart and art. It's the heart part. But heart comes out in a whole bunch of different ways. And an audience can sniff out fakeness immediately. And an audience can sniff out authenticity. And they love it. That's the most important thing.
Yeah. She goes, I go, she goes. That's
is that how I said it?
Yeah, I loved it.
Okay. Yeah, because sometimes I get caught up in the writing, like when I've rehearsed in the past and I'm like, and then she said, and then I said, and it works on the page because you're just used to it with your eyes, but it's not, no one speaks like that really, I don't think.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure you had your body language in it and your whole thing.
Oh, like I acted out the twerking, maybe. I don't know because I was really in the moment.
Yeah.
I was like, and then this happened and I don't know, I made mistakes and I was like, the only time I wasn't was when I resaid that line because I wanted to be a better performer or some shit.
Yeah. All right. Well, sweet. Thank you for sharing that with us. I mean, it's such a good lesson. You're so brave. Like I hate that. I would never get up on stage without a rehearsed anything. I don't like it. I like stage. Like if I'm like doing a host of something because I don't have anything that I have to memorize because my brain does not memorize and spout out. I can't do it.
Because, well, then you should do the Moth because you're not supposed to memorize. That's what I just said.
Yeah, but why would I want to do that? I have no desire. My mind goes blank. When you call me up on stage, you're like, tell me about a time you snooped. I'm like, no.
Well, so that's when you would just know your beats. And what I mean by beats are the moments in the story. You just remember the moments in your story and you remember them in order. And that's all you have to know.
What if I forget my beats?
Well, what you have to do when you go, you have to just trust. You have to trust that you can tell your friend what happened. And even though there's a whole audience, you're just telling one person. And you know that you can tell a story because you've told so many and you tell them really well. It's like, you know what it is? It's a writing prompt. You just know that you can write into your notebook without editing. You're just in your mind telling the story, writing it down. I want to say one more thing about why this is so important. And you would be great at it, even though you think you wouldn't. It's so good to get up and tell a story in front of someone or in front of no one, just to tell your story out loud without reading. It's so good for you to figure out what matters for the story. So it's important it's a great tool for the page to tell stories out loud. To write the story, all I need are those 4 beats. Now I know that.
And what's cool is that you recorded yourself so you could go back and listen to it and learn about that. That's really cool. So just to, maybe for our listeners who are trying to figure out what their story is to read it out loud and to actually record themselves and then listen back. I think that's pretty cool.
But not read out loud. It's a great exercise to just, if you're working on a story and you're writing a story and you're stumped.
Yeah.
Tell the story out loud to your cell phone voice memo.
Yeah.
Or tell it to a friend and see which elements you need. It's a great exercise.
So basically what I said, except for not read, but tell.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But it's not the read. Yeah.
Right.
All right. Yay. I feel so good that I won the Moth. I just have to say, I'm still high over it.
I am so proud of you. I mean, this is just relentless, persistence. I'm so proud of you. Yeah. And I'm sure there are tons of people. Maybe send us an email or an Instagram or whatever it is and let us know your Moth story. I think that would be really cool. Like, what's your persistence story?
How many times have you lost at the Moth?
Yeah. Maybe we should do that as a prompt. Tell us about the times
14 times.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for listening. And I think I said this already, but I want to say it again. Andrea, rockstar, thank you for sharing. Writing Class Radio is hosted by me, Allison Langer.
And me, Andrea Askowitz.
I thought you were going to say me, the rock star. Audio production by Matt Kundle, Evan Serminski, and Aidan Glassy at the Sound Off Media Company. Theme music is by Justina Chandler. There's more writing class on our website, including stories we study, editing resources, video classes, writing retreats, and live online classes. If you want to write with us every week, or if you're a business owner, community activist, group that needs healing, entrepreneur, scientist, and you want to help your team write better, check out all the classes we offer on our website, writingclassradio.com. Join the community that comes together for instruction, an excuse to write, and the support from other writers. To learn more, go to our website or patreon.com/writingclassradio. A new episode will drop every other Wednesday.
There's no better way to understand ourselves and each other than by writing and sharing our stories. Everyone has a story. What's yours?
I'm so done.
Produced and distributed by the Sound Off Media Company.